The New York Times reporting that Egypt Air officials say the plane that crashed was once spray painted by airport workers with graffiti in Arabic. As you heard me say, it read, "We will bring this plane down." What can you tell us about that report? Is this connected?
Well, it is 2 years ago, so there's perhaps not a direct connection, but what it does show, Jake, is the extent of the Islamist threat at the airports from insiders. It also showed the anger toward General Sisi, and so a combination of anti-Sisi plus the Islamist movement, the ISIS movement, and the fact that the insiders at the airports all over the world, but especially in countries like Egypt, that is, to me, a greater threat to us than passengers bringing bombs onto a plane. It's people behind the scenes, those who have access to the plane, the airport workers, the cleaners, the scrubbers, anyone who again does not face the same scrutiny as passengers do. They have access, and that is the real threat here.
Yeah, I would think that would be right. There were reports of Arabic graffiti on other planes, including 4 EasyJet aircraft in France. And I know at Charles de Gaulle Airport and in France, there was a move a few months ago to get rid of a bunch of airport workers who had suspected ties to Islamic extremists. Is this still a threat even after all those firings?
Oh, it is. I mean, you figure they have about 85, 90,000 employees at the airport, and this was like 70 or 80 that were removed. You have to assume that there's others there that they were not able to detect. I mean, this was really a late development by the French to realize the threat they faced. So I would say that, yes, we have to definitely be concerned that more are there. Also in our own country, and we've done a lot to correct it. We probably have 1 million people who have access to planes at our airports. And there was a Inspector General's report, the Department of Homeland Security, last year, which said there were a large number had not been properly vetted. Now, there's a lot done, and it's much better with the TSA and Homeland Security. But this is an ongoing situation we have to monitor because of the access that these people would have to the plane. So really, it's almost impossible to have too much security. That, to me, that behind the scenes, insider threat is the one we have to be most concerned about. We're doing a much better job here in the U.S. France obviously was a little late getting started, and as far as other countries around the world, they come nowhere near the standards that we have here in the U.S.
And what's the latest that you can tell us in terms of what officials think might have happened to this plane? The last I heard, the president of Egypt, General Sisi, had said that all options are still possible. What's your understanding of the latest?
Yeah, well, again, this is unofficial, but I would say that right now the indicators are that if you tip the scales, it's toward terrorism. But the longer it goes without responsibility being claimed, it also could be a malfunction on the plane itself, an electrical malfunction. But I think as more and more of the debris is collected and testing is done, we should find out sooner rather than later what this was. I think on these investigations, by the way, and something like this, we always have to start off with the premise that terrorism is the most likely option and then work our way back from that. Not say that for certain that it's terrorism, but say that that's the most likely and then work our way back.
The official spokesman of ISIS released an audio message yesterday, but in that message there was no claim of responsibility for the attack. What do you make of that?
It could be several things. One, that could have been recorded before they were certain who actually carried this out. ISIS does not have the same type of command and control that Al-Qaeda had. So this could have been a local affiliate of ISIS that did it. It could have been another Islamist group. And before an acknowledgement is made, they want to make sure exactly who did it, how it was done. But again, there's any number of hypotheses out there. It could have been lone wolves, for all we know.